Today's ride along is with former Nittany Lion volleyball player Jen Burdis, otherwise known as Bird, and author of this book, The EduNinja Mindset. She has an amazing story that I guarantee you are going to want to share with friends and family members. Bird, what's up? You made it.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm always ready. What's happening, kid?
Not much. How you doing?
I'm great. Bring it in.
Feeling great.
So how was your trip?
It was awesome.
Painless? Did you get any rest? And because you took the red eye, right?
Yeah, I got a few hours of sleep.
So you're the keynote speaker for the Gold Women's Leadership Conference, which is graduates of the last decade.
Yeah.
Number one, keynote speaker, big deal. How'd you get connected with that?
Well, I was back for Russ's 40th
Right.
years of coaching. Like
40.
I'm celebrating with all the girls and with him, and so I was able to connect with the ed department there. So they gave me this whole itinerary where I got to meet with different professors, different leadership groups. I mean, they had me scheduled like from sunup to sundown.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Okay. So, all right, let's start.
Awesome.
Before we get to the most amazing part of your story, let's start with the meeting when Russ called you into his office from camp.
Oh, wow. You were the first person I told about that, right?
Yeah, well, yes. Well, I don't know if I was the first. Maybe I was, but it's a crazy story. But just him bringing you in off of, what was it, court number 2 and to talk to you? Tell that story.
So back when I was a junior in high school, that story?
Yes.
I think one of my court coaches came up to me and they're like, Coach Rose wants to talk to you. And I was always scared of him.
Well, he can be intimidating if you don't know him.
And it doesn't say much, and when he says something, you take him very seriously. And
Right.
I was like, oh no, like
What did I do?
What is he going to talk to me about? Like, I'm kind of scared. So I walked up real slowly up to his office, and I was probably so scared I don't remember most of the conversation. So you probably have to ask him more, but the gist of it all was like, basically, do you want to play at Penn State?
Right. And you sort of thought it was like a hypothetical question.
Like, do I want to play at Penn State? Like, have you seen my parents' kitchen? Like, there's a Penn State lamp above the kitchen table. There's wallpaper all around. Like,
Right. So your head was spinning. Like,
I was like, yeah, of course I'd want to play there. But like my talent-wise, I mean, I was on court 2, right, at his camp.
which court 2 isn't the best?
It's not top 1.
It's not court
not
1,
court
which is
1.
where, okay.
Right? So I'm 5'1", sitting there in his office, and he's asking me if I want to play volleyball at Penn State, right?
Yeah, that's got to be pretty overwhelming.
Yeah.
Because he's already at legend status by this time.
Well, yeah. And I mean, I would go, I was, all the camp coaches, they were like my idols, and I would go watch them play. So here I am at this small high school, not competing in these club volleyball tournaments or anything. I mean,
Right. You weren't on the club circuit, which is where most kids get seen.
right. No, I mean, my grade school team, Coach Kulik would roll out these volleyball nets. We didn't even have a gymnasium, right?
Wow.
So we'd
That is a small
roll
school.
out these volleyball nets with these tire bases.
Yeah, that is
And
old
we'd
school.
play on blacktop.
Wow. On blacktop.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're not
dive,
digging and
right?
diving. Yeah.
No, but your knee pads would be ripped up a little, like
That's
just
crazy.
A little bit,
What do you think he saw in you?
I just, I asked him that. Like last time I went to see him, I was like, "Why'd you even pick me? Like,
Right.
of all the girls, right?
Right.
Like, why'd you pick me as one of them?" And he told me I was the poo-poo platter.
The poo-poo platter. Sometimes you just don't even want to ask him questions. Okay, so then he challenges you and says he expects you to make all Big Ten academic, not knowing you have this little secret.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't read. I had undiagnosed dyslexia. I got through.
Now say that again. You couldn't read.
No.
Undiagnosed dyslexia.
Yeah, my reading level honestly was probably like 2nd grade-ish. Like maybe a little bit more, like enough where I could get by, like I could kind of read the directions, but I would always ask people, and I'd kind of guess my way through all these like workbook pages and stuff, and like kind of, guess.
So you made it through elementary, middle school, middle school, high school, and then you're getting this offer to go to a major university, and you literally cannot read.
Right. And like,
which is crazy. You dropped that on me, I don't know, was it 3-4 years ago? I'm like, what?
Yeah. I didn't even, so my senior year, I couldn't even pass the vocab test because you had to spell the words correctly, like the big SAT words and everything. And I knew the definitions. I would study so hard, but I couldn't spell them correctly.
Right. And what I found out in your book was that there's a lot of, it's about sound. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was about sound.
It's numbers. It's just being able to see the words on the page, you know? So I missed that reading gap of when they were teaching reading in like 1st and 2nd grade, because then it was silent reading in 3rd and 4th, and then they just expected you knew how to read. So I think I missed my window there. So I taught myself how to read after, like when I was getting my master's degree in reading and writing curriculum.
So
teach kids how to
you
read.
have you are all Big Ten at Penn State University.
Because I studied my tail off.
Because you studied your ass off.
Yeah.
And then you get to your master's program, and then you say, you know what, it's about time I decide to read. I mean, it's not the normal path. That's insane. That's crazy.
I didn't pick it.
It picked you, and you just made it work. You figured it out.
Like I knew I couldn't read like everyone else, right? And I knew it's probably like glasses, right? Like someone who can't see, you're like, I know I can't see. Like I need something.
Right. And you're not telling anybody, like.
Well, because I didn't know. Like,
right.
Do you know what I mean? I knew I couldn't read like everyone else, but wasn't, to me, it wasn't like a secret, like, oh, I can't read. I was just always doing the best I could.
Yeah, you're just figuring it out.
You know?
Yeah, that's, and it should be pretty inspiring to people to know that, you know, you had all the, undiagnosed, no one told you what was going on. You just kind of figured it out.
Yeah.
Right?
You know why? It's because, it totally clicked. I was reading that book, Malcolm Gladwell's David and Goliath.
Okay.
And so there's a story in there of this lawyer who, same thing, like struggled, and he would have to take so much extra time to read through and become a lawyer. And like, I just started crying at the one point because he was talking about his schooling, and I was like, oh my gosh, this was totally my schooling, right? And the struggles I had going through it, and I totally identified with it. And not even a week later, my mom came out to California with a Fraggle Rock book.
Fraggle Rock, yes.
And there was a bookmark in it that I made for my grandma. And I remember the tape and taping it on, but 3 out of the 4 words had flip-flop letters.
Right. So it hits you. You're like, whoa, here it is.
There it is, staring right back at me, right?
Right. And Ba and Da had something to do with it, right?
Yeah.
B-A-H and D-A-H.
Yeah, and I flip-flopped her name. And in Malcolm Gladwell's book, that's what they, even when they describe dyslexia, they talk about those 2 sounds, Ba and Da.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is... All right, so now you decide at a certain point that American Ninja Warrior is something you want to tackle.
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
I mean, a couple people brought it up. When I was working back at a gym in Orwigsburg, Pennsylvania.
Orwigsburg, which is close to Deer Lake, which is where Muhammad Ali trained, which is awesome.
Totally. Yeah, right down the street. And so I was training there, and Matt, you know, one of my friends played football at Penn State.
Stankiewicz.
Yeah, and he's just like, you should do something like one of those TV shows and something. And I didn't know which one. And then I came back to Penn State for a volleyball reunion. And then Terry Robluski at the time, Robluski Shaw, she said to me, and I dove after volleyball, and she's like, you play volleyball like a ninja. She's like, you need to try out for American Ninja Warrior. She's like, I should always love that show. So I went back and did.
Right, so you're living in San Diego, but you come back for a reunion, someone throws out Ninja, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And you did 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Which, those things, I mean, they look hard on TV, they gotta be harder, even.
They're so much harder in real life.
Right.
So much harder. I mean, those quintuple steps, you see guys single step in them.
Right,
like,
right.
I mean, not me. The first year I had to cat claw them and just like hang on to them for dear life.
Well, because you're 5'2".
Right. I'm trying to leap across. It takes my whole body and effort just to get to one of them.
Right. And because you teach 4th grade,
Yeah.
Is that right? So you dovetail that into the EduNinja. talk about EduNinja. Tell us about that.
So I started getting kids on my journey of fitness, right? So we started moving more throughout the day, and that's when brain breaks started becoming popular. So when you would transition from one subject to the next, you would stop and do some exercises for like a minute or two.
Right.
So then I started working it into like fitness routines, and I had them sitting on Swiss yoga balls. And so
Yeah, I see in your class, I see pictures sometimes pop up, and you have the balls instead of chairs.
Yeah.
They have
We do whole routines on those, and then each month we do different fitness challenges. So October it's the pumpkin challenge, where we do a whole workout with a pumpkin.
Yeah, because those are heavy.
Pumpkins.
Yeah,
They're cheap, they're heavy, they last a couple good weeks, before they rot.
right. So yeah, I obviously I'm not alone in this, but I just love teachers and the way you're approaching it. Like your book, The EduNinja Mindset, is a great read for teachers. It has great content, and I don't want to give it all away, but like you even started like a group for deciding what's good food, and what do you call it again?
So,
Wellness committee, is that what it's called?
It's the EduNinja Challenge.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've done it for 5 years. Usually it's the beginning of the year, the new year. This year I think we're going to kick off the school year in September with it. And so it's just a 30-day challenge. So I do 30 different videos, and I have nutrition tips, and we've got a private Facebook group, and then I teach classes at my school for the teachers too.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have like them growing gardens?
Well,
right?
yeah, we did 1 year of growing, and we had salad parties.
No, that's awesome. Because I mean, even like Michelle Obama, her big thing was the kids' health,
right.
And so that falls right into that category. So you have started this EduNinja thing, and the book has some great concepts. One, vulnerability. Talk about that.
Well, I think everyone should write a book, because I think you're opening up your stories and sharing your learning with others, and I think that's huge.
Well, and the woman who has dyslexia wrote a book.
Right.
I mean, wrap your head around that for a second. Okay, another concept, radical trust.
Radical trust. I mean, so get this, after 21 years of teaching, I'm jumping out of the classroom next year.
And what are you doing?
Well, I'm getting off the red eye in 4 days, and I'm literally jumping off the Alps. I'm going to be paragliding.
Paragliding. Okay, well, see, that's one thing you won't ever catch me doing. Like jumping out of the bed in the morning and being alive, that's like a thrill. That's my big thrill.
Yeah.
So
I'll send you a picture.
I know. I want to see. I'm sure you'll post them on Facebook, right?
Oh, most
you better.
definitely. Yeah.
So you're going to be going to the Alps,
I'll be
flying a kite with your body in it.
Yeah, I'll be getting some help. I don't know how to do it by myself.
Okay. Well, all right. Best of luck with that. I mean, you only live once, so if that's like for me, I would love to dive with sharks. People may think that's crazy, so I get it. I mean, that's just I draw the line when I jump out of things that, are made of soak, like parachutes, that kind of thing. Okay, another concept. Like you say. You learned a lot, kinesthetic learning?
Yeah.
Talk about that.
I think, just because I grew up not being able to read very well, I definitely had to listen to concepts and learn from my mentors. But moving, I mean, sports has been my best coach ever.
Right.
So the coaches
Amen.
wrapped around it. And so in the classroom, it was Mr. Kulik's science class, where he didn't have us read out a textbook ever.
Really?
He played videos. We had whole group discussions. We did hands-on science experiments. And,
I was going to ask what subject, science.
And then he brought in, he was my volleyball and basketball coach too, so he brought in all the science concepts out to the court, and then all the concepts out there into the classroom. So I know my science.
Actually, that was probably my favorite subject too, other than history, was science.
Yeah, and why? Why do you think?
Oh, well, the science was definitely hands-on. That had a lot to do with it, and the teacher, and then the history was the teacher, because he was teaching us things that you really didn't normally learn in history, outside the box kind of things.
Totally.
Yeah, so that was really cool. And one of my favorite topics you talk about is mindfulness. Give us a little bit on that.
Key. I mean, especially for classroom, just to be able to share that tool with students. I mean, they're so engaged on their phones and their iPads, and as a teacher now, you have to be on to have their attention, and they're just going and going and going, and they don't have these tools to just stop and just check in and like have a conversation and
Right.
Smell
Being in the moment.
being in the moment, right? So they need to sit and they need to be coached in. They need to practice those tools so then they can use them independently, right?
And so you've had probably be more mindful as the tech generation has
I think
come
so.
through
Yeah.
than you did when you started
Yeah.
15, 20 years ago.
And I mean, as teachers, you need it too, right? I mean, you were on all the time for those students. You need to take those breaks and sit
Right.
and breathe.
Because you have, I mean, you literally have to be locked in with what they're saying,
Oh,
because even that's the way you know how individual students learn is
right.
through their answers. So you always have to, as a teacher, you always have to be locked in.
You have to be hyper aware.
Hyper
Aware of every word of what they're saying, and then what they're not saying says a lot to you. Yeah.
So there was there's something funny in there where you say you're frenemies with AM workouts.
Oh, the morning workouts.
Well, see, I'm not even frenemies. I'm enemies with the morning workouts. Like, I'm nocturnal by nature. So, like, sometimes I'll work out at like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's just my biorhythms. I've always been like that ever since I was a kid.
Uh-huh.
But how do you fight that when you're, like, you say you're frenemies, but you do it?
I do it, yeah.
What time do you usually...
Oh, my alarm goes up at 4:44.
I'm
It's the
just getting into
worst.
REM sleep at 4:45. Are you kidding me?
I know, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it takes me a little while. I might hit snooze once, and I wake up slowly. Stretch, get some coffee before I hit the gym. So.
But that's because of as a teacher. Number one, you have to probably be at work at 7,
Right.
and then in the afternoon there's always something that's coming up. So it's your way of guaranteeing that you get your workout in.
For sure. And even though I'm posting all this stuff on Instagram and Facebook, I work out during the school year like 1 hour a day.
Right.
Like, it's not like I'm excessive. It's
Right.
not like I have all this time to do it or do it well. Like, I commit about an hour a day during the school.
That's all you need,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because even me, like, sometimes I might only get 25 minutes in, but I'm like, well, that's 25 minutes I wouldn't have done.
Right.
Especially if I do something like a tempo stationary bike where I'm getting that heart rate up or something like that. So it's the afternoon, and we're going to work out in the afternoon. I saw you do some Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight shit. Oh, you're doing curls, balancing on a roller.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there were some fails when you first started doing that, correct?
No.
No, you just jumped on. Well,
Those
you got to go
girls-
to to the Jen Burdis business page, and you got to check out this video of her doing it. If I could post it, I would. But just go to her Facebook, look up Jen Burdis, Burdis, and you got to see this thing because she does. It looks like Luke Skywalker. Like, that was crazy.
And my previous superintendent, he saw me at the gym doing stuff like that, and he's like, let me try, and I said,
Busting his ass.
Yes, and I said no, I was trying to be so nice. I said, I don't think yet, do you want to hold my hand and try? Because I first tried in like artificial turf, and that's why I didn't fall, is because I took steps, and I was trying to tell
Baby
him,
steps.
and he's like, oh no, he's like I've got this, and so sure enough, he tries it, and bam,
A man's got to know his limitations.
just landed on the ground.
Yeah, like just trying to balance would be an issue with me, much less having weights and doing squats and lateral raises with barbells. That was insane. Okay, so now your book is for anybody, but teachers really could benefit from the book. How can they get the book? You do public speaking. How can people contact you?
Find me, so jenburdis.com or eduninja.net. You could go to Instagram, Jennifer Burdis, Twitter, Jennifer_Burdis, but the book's on Amazon.com and Barnes & Noble.
You're big time.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, number one, congratulations for writing the book. And then on top of that, you just had that little thing where you were flipping words. And then you just figured it out on your own. And then it's just, the whole story is crazy, but inspiring. And as I told people that if they watch this, they'll be inspired to share it, because I'm sure they have a friend or family member who may be struggling with dyslexia, and you're kind of like you can be their spirit animal.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get in this gym and let's get a sweat. And I appreciate you spending time, and also good luck on the guest lecturing.
Thank you so much.